Alrighty, good morning, ladies. I hope you all are having a good day. I wanted to do a little chat on piggybacking off of what I said on the video I made yesterday about accusing a person of doing something that they're not doing. For an example, I said accusing a man of sleeping with a woman or women that he's not sleeping with. That energy is fluid. First of all, it's fluid. So if you are constantly accusing somebody of doing something that they're not doing, that's going to initiate a spirit to at some point entice them. Will it make them do it? That's going to be their choice. More than likely, they are going to fall into the steps of doing it. Accusing a woman that's not sleeping with your man, you're provoking her, especially when you stalk and harass. Now, every situation has different components, so we're speaking on a general context, and that's just the fact of the matter. But I'm not saying cheating is right, and I'm also not saying cheating is wrong. Nothing stops a cheater, a person from cheating on you, but you. People expect for the other person or another person to make a choice about sleeping with somebody that they should make a choice about. That's my stance on that. For an example, a man dealing in between, let's just keep it simple, a man dealing with two different women. One woman, is his, let's say, long-term girlfriend. She finds out about the other woman. So then she confronts the other woman. And the other woman, let's say she didn't know about him having a long-term or, a girlfriend in general. So the long-term girlfriend expects for her to say, okay, I'm going to leave him alone. Well, the man is telling her something else. Of course, the woman has come in and solidified some things about him being in a relationship with her. But in actuality, a woman that's being cheated on, it's her place to put her foot down and say, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to tolerate this. But in most cases, they expect for the other person to walk away. And people don't channel, in my opinion and my personal belief, people don't channel their energy right. They take it out on the other person. Rather, the other person knew about you, knows about you, it doesn't mean anything. Because guess what? The person you're in a relationship about, the person that you're in a relationship with, his ass sure enough know about you. He knows he's supposed to be faithful to you. He knows he's supposed to be loyal to you. You should take it up with him. Period, point blank. Now, if that woman that didn't know about you or knew about you, let's say she leaves him alone, they go separate ways. But of course, cheating gives anybody insecurity. And I think we all should be honest with ourselves and say that when a man cheats, it makes any woman feel some sort of way. So, he starts to act suspicious again, you're going to automatically, more than likely, think he's cheating with that particular person, quote unquote, again. So you go back to that woman and she tells you, I don't talk to him anymore. I'm not seeing him anymore. I left him alone when you told me there, or I left him alone right before I even knew of you. I don't see him anymore. But but a woman starts to stalk that woman because she makes the assumption that yes, she's still seeing him. Yes, they're still having sex based off her suspicions because he's acting funny, moving different. His energy is coming up suspect. So she goes and base it off of the last woman that she caught him with. So you constantly harassing a woman, then you're saying friends, and I'm saying you in general, not you personally watching this video, but just giving examples. Then the woman starts sending friends, sending family members, everybody stalking, harassing her, bad mouthing her name on the internet, around town, or just, on her job, trying to cause hardship, hell, and havoc behind a man she's not even seeing, behind a man she's not even dealing with. Sometimes straight on GP, that a woman will go, okay, since you saying I'm doing this and I done told you I'm not doing it, now I'm gonna go give him some behind for real. Now I'm gonna go sleep with him because you won't leave me alone. You keep trying to pull me into something that I done told you I'm not in anymore. I don't deal with him, or I don't deal with him on that level. And I think something else that women need to awaken their eyes to and become more cognizant of. Men will have financial ties with different women, and the reason why is because he looks to have a back burner. He looks to have a backup plan. He looks to have a scapegoat, and I've experienced that in my last not the last 3 years, but let's say the overall 5 years. I've experienced that one time in my life. Men will do that. He will create financial ties to hold her up with him and to lock her in with him so that she could somewhat be of a scapegoat, back burner, or backup plan. But even in that, it doesn't mean she's sleeping with him. It doesn't mean she's sleeping with him. But if that's your man, it don't matter who the other person is. You to your man have an obligation to say, you know what, he's cheated. I've caught him cheating. Cheating with ing is more than one time. That's plural. That's not singular. Cheated is one time. Okay, you cheated on me. You caught him one time. So but women expect for the other woman to do their job. No, you do your job. Because he's doing it to you. He cheating on you. But see, to be real honest, women don't want to be real and say how much they cheat with their man, how much they cheat on their man, and how much they have allowed. Women don't want to say that. Women don't want to be honest. They don't want people to know exactly how much they have contributed to a man or the man cheating. Now think about this grand move with polyamorous relationships. Y'all see, I'm just gonna be honest, y'all and very blunt. You see how many unattractive men are into polyamorous relationships because they've tapped into what they call the frequency of money, the frequency of being a celebrity. And it's not even, you know what, even with that whole term, hurt people, hurt other people, those aren't hurt people, those are toxic people. I think sometimes we use the wrong term or the wrong title with people, just like the grand move of the word narcissist. We don't have a bunch of narcissistic people running around. We have a bunch of, undisciplined, undignified, and toxic ass people running around. That's not a hurt person. That's a person that's toxic. They have a toxic way of cheating. They cheat themselves and they don't mind cheating another person. I don't think it's always because somebody is hurt. Because people are in their right state of mind when they do these things. Sometimes they're in a very good state and place of life. You know how many women and men have found out that their spouses, their significant others, their companions have cheated on them. And it's like, I've given you the world. I do everything for you. Why are you cheating? It's because that's who some people are in that season. And in my personal belief, there's nothing you can do with a cheater. If a person is in cheat mode, cheat energy, cheat season, that's who they are to themselves, not just to you. So I wanted to chat just a little bit this morning because I saw a little rebuttal, and I always see it in the comments. When I come back and do a live, they don't show up, or they'll sit like they're sitting now and just watch. I'm gonna speak for me personally. I've had women for the last 5 years of my life. Since when I turned 40, some drama started in my life about a man that I did not even know was married. But he wasn't just seeing me, he was seeing multiple women. His first wife and him was sleeping with some of the same women together. They knew of each other. His first wife, second wife, and a baby mama and 2 other mistresses. It was 5 of them specifically that was trying to entice me, entangle me, and then threaten me to join them and setting him up. And it was 2 different setups they had for him. One I tried to tell him about, but he didn't believe me. He blocked me. So the second one I ain't never opened my mouth about from that day to this one. But all those women were in cahoots with a few other men. They were in cahoots with some specific things taking place in his life, and even for his future that was going to take place. So just trust me when I say every woman ain't out here looking for somebody else's husband, somebody boyfriend, somebody else baby daddy. But we cannot sit here and say that every woman, is intentionally messing around with your man, or that every woman doesn't know that they're cheating. What about the women that's out here cheating? What about that? Jason, let me tell you something. Y'all love to use that word narcissistic. If when you recognize a person is a narcissistic and they have these narc tendencies and you stay in these relationships with them, they're no longer to blame. You are. Because you're sitting up allowing and tolerating that shit. Whether it's man or woman. If you can sit up here and say my wife is narcissistic, then guess what? She have checked off many slots for you to say that she's been a narcissistic person to you. Anything after that, your ass want it. So if she leave you in the bed in a pool of blood, nobody need to be sitting here crying, how did this happen? Because you are a contributing factor. And that's the truth. We all have to be accountable for our own personal choices, what we allow to be done to us. There are some things we are not going to be in control of. And when it comes to cheating, if a person is going to cheat, they're going to cheat on you. That's who they are to themselves. And if you allow them to be a cheater to you, is what it's going to be. But in the event, like I said yesterday, in the event that you are accusing a man and he's not cheating, honey, you inviting that spirit to him. If you're accusing a woman of sleeping with your man that's not sleeping with him or not sleeping with him anymore, and you start that harassing and stalking, why you think she's not gonna go put some pussy on him? Why you think she's not? Why should she not? Because you're already lying on her. Jason, I don't understand what that I'm the deleted is. You know what? Even with that gutter mentality, I don't even think it's about a gutter mentality. I think it's a thing of where people say, well, they're already accusing me. People are already saying I did this. They're already saying I'm doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm staying out of this. I'm staying out of the way, but this person owes me. Let's say, for an example, a man moves a woman. He relocates her. She has no knowing of a girlfriend, or if let's say he could have a girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, a wife, a baby mama. Let's say that he relocates her, and after the relocation, months after the relocation, his real life starts to surface. Why does that man not owe that woman? Why does he not have a financial obligation to her, or why should he not? Let's say she cuts off the sex because she didn't know she was in the midst of, other women, multiple women, even if it's 2, 3 women. But because he relocated her, yes, I do agree that man owes her something financially. And you might not like it, but she should get her money. Period. She should get as much from him as he would give because he changed her life. And I'm not talking, and it could be him just changing her location. It could be him changing her, accustomed to living, bringing her up to a status of living that maybe she's not accustomed to. Yes, he does owe her. But guess what? Then you're going to look at it like, well, she must be sleeping with him. Honey, everybody is not going to get in these third parties where everybody is sleeping around. First of all, let me say this bluntly. There is too much HIV. HIV has been normalized, and that's the fact of the matter. But there is too many people that are unclean physically. They're too unclean. And every woman is not going to drop her standard for her personal body, her personal hygiene, her personal health, and open up to a man that's sleeping with multiple women. Then the women sleeping with other women. Every woman is not going to do that. But if that man has changed her life, inconvenienced her life, I would not doubt and I would not blame her if she made him compensate her life financially because he owed it to her. He owes it to her. And it's not about you. It's not about the other person understanding, whether it's a wife, whether it's a girlfriend, a living girlfriend, whether it's a baby mama. It's something that's a reality that your ass will have to accept. He put that woman in that position. He moved her. You know, he started doing this. Then guess what? That is what it is. But every woman is not going to sleep around with a man that's sleeping around with other women. But now let's go back to the original text. We're talking about provoking. We're talking about accusing somebody of doing something that they're not. Now y'all can't say that y'all are as spiritually awoken as you say and portray to be to not recognize that accusing someone is projecting onto them. Accusing somebody is projecting onto them. And especially when you're wrong. Especially when you're wrong. It don't have anything to do with, oh, that they're narcissists. Oh, they're a hurt person. No, a lie is a lie. Wrong is wrong. And sometimes people just need to admit I was wrong. Okay, I thought he was cheating with her. Maybe it's somebody else. Okay, I thought she was still messing with my man. Maybe it's somebody else. And I personally have an issue with indirect women. Indirect women, they're covering up something. They're hiding something. They themselves are lying about something. They don't tell you that something is going on and they have contributed or they are the initial factor in it. When women can't say who they are to a man, that's hella suspicious to me. That can't be your man, especially your husband, your boyfriend. You have a child or children with him, y'all still dealing, and you can't say that. But you can call me on the phone and ask me who he is. That's suspect to me. Something going on. Something's going on with you. Why are you even on this phone? And what people need to recognize is, how the hell do you even know about me? Because I ain't know shit of you. I don't know who you are. I don't know where the hell you come from. How do you know my name? How do you get my information? How do you get my phone number? How do you know me? How? People need to start looking at that common sense stuff. How does a woman that he's with, married to, live with, go with, doing life with, how the hell did she know about you and you not know about her? How did she find out about you? Okay, did she snoop through his phone? If she snooped through his phone, she should be able to say that. But when they start that, I just saw you, I just saw you in the spirit. I don't think that's always that. No, something is going on. Um, Helena, who are you talking to, hon? Hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm never telling anybody cheating is okay. I'm never telling anybody that cheating is right. But cheating is a part of life. I tell you what, be honest with yourself. You don't have to put it in the chat room. Why the hell did you start watching tarot? What brought you to tarot? What made you start looking at tarot cards that are primarily about relationships? What made you start watching tarot? People fake, front, and lie. People watching tarot because they want to find out, is the person they with for them, against them, lying to them, deceiving them, gaslighting them. Sometimes they don't even care about the spiritual parts of it. They're so focused on the physical. Any other comments? Any other snide remarks? Understand provoking somebody, accusing them, and they're not doing it. Accusing them is provoking them. And also, I'm not saying whether a person is insecure, secure themselves, confident, but guess what? When you are constantly accusing someone of cheating and they're not, it gives them a confidence that they could do it and get away with it. Because if you really thought somebody was cheating and you accusing them, and whether you got proof or no proof, but you just constantly accusing them and you sticking around, it's telling them, well, hell, if I did cheat, she ain't going nowhere. Common sense stuff. If one, I just said, if there's nothing you can do with a cheater but leave them alone or accept it. There ain't no other way, ain't no other thing. There is nothing you can do with a cheating man, a cheating woman. They gonna cheat. That's who they are to themselves. It ain't always about you. It's just who they are to themselves. So if you find out somebody is cheating and you're not, you're either gonna do one or two things: leave them alone or accept it. In your situation, maybe join them. You cheat too, but what the hell else is there to do? If somebody is, making money off of having sex, if they really are, a corn star, that's something you got to accept about their life until they're ready to change it, because you're not going to change it. Let me say something respectfully about forgiveness. People want to always preach and speak on forgiveness when they can't accept who a person is to themselves. You cannot expect to forgive a person for being something to you until you accept who they are to themselves. Some people are low down, dirty, and trifling to their damn self. So guess what? If that's the version of them that they're trying to, project onto you, then you may need to forgive yourself of allowing a person to give you the filthy sides of them, the dirty sides of them, the low grade sides of them, the good for nothing side of them, because it's who they are to themselves. So you don't have to sit here. Everybody, I mean, I know that stuff be sounding good, but y'all, let's be realistic. Who gives a rat's ass about forgiving a man about cheating and that motherfucker bring you some shit that you can't get rid of? You got to forgive yourself for sticking in there. Now, I'm going to use this situation right here lightly. I ain't going to go deep into this. This is how I feel about it. But I'm going to use this situation because it's public. That mess with Cassie and Diddy, you know how many STDs that girl had, and her body had became immune to the medicine. She could not even get rid of STDs. You know how many ass cuttings she took because she had become immune to getting beat up, to being traumatized before he ever laid his hand on her, before he ever gave her an STD. Guess what? She made a choice to stick around. Now, years later, we see in the rough parts of it. But in the beginning, when it was good, when he was taking her out shopping, taking her out from different, giving her different explorers of the world, showing her the world, giving her a lifestyle, we don't see that part. So she contributed. She's a contribution to her own trauma. And I'm using that because that's a public situation that everybody is discussing. But you got to be accountable. I don't give a damn about that grooming. Because guess what? All it shows was she was a fast ass girl in grown men's faces. Where were her parents? Where were her guardians? Where were the elders in her life that allowed a grown man to be in and around her life that closely? Everybody want us to sit here and shun Diddy. They want us to exile him from the black community and from society in general. But we got to go back. We have to go back and question Cassie's childhood, her parenting, her surroundings. And I say that as a black woman. And something else I want to say about Diddy case as well. Everybody want to point out that he's a pervert. You know, he's this. He's an oppressor. He's abusive to women. How many people that sit here accusing that man, how many of these same people have not done the same thing to women? How many of their uncles, their dads, their brothers? So we got to sit here and stop looking at what they just choose to show us. It's three sides to a story. Each individual side and the gospel truth. If people were the advocates to their own children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, even mothers and fathers, if they were an advocate for their own family, guess what? We wouldn't be concerned. We wouldn't even be, the views wouldn't be where they are with these cases with Diddy. People have that stuff going on in their life every day, day to day. But it's because number one, he's a black man, and number one, he's a black man that's a billionaire, was a billionaire. They didn't want to show us a non-black woman, biracial woman, whatever her race is. And they want us to pull him down. But they don't want us to consider the fact that she contributed to the trauma that's in her life. The mental trauma she would go through later on. And even in that interview, because even in that trial, I watched a couple cases. A couple episodes. Those male prostitutes said she was soliciting them. So we gotta cover all the bases. We gotta look at everything. Am I saying that she's not a victim? Not necessarily, but she contributed. She's a contribution. She contributed. She's a contributing factor to her abuse. Just like you, just like me. Every case is different. Every situation is different, like it or not. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not saying that woman did not experience some serious things and has not been misguided. I'm not gonna say she has not been abused, because clearly she has. But with some people, abuse is only gonna go but so far. And some people are not going to experience certain types of abuse. Why? Because they give a damn about themselves. They will pull back and pull out and pull away. She said, at this point, you should not be speaking. Hold on. At this point, you should not be speaking on that. Forget what he done to the women, the men, that about the children. He is oppressor. And if he can do it to children, he was aggressive to women. Well, we're free to speak on it because freedom of speech, number one. Then number two, it's a public case. We're free to speak on it, so you can't say I'm using it as an example. But yes, I'm not denying that he's an oppressor. I'm not denying that he's abusive. I'm not denying that I think that he's criminal. What I'm saying is, bluntly, she had time to get out. Nobody deserves that mess, but she had time to get out. 10 years is a long time to stay in abuse, y'all. That was a whole different type of stuff right there. Yeah, some people may not have the mental strength, but at the same time, you can't expect for everybody to give you but so much compassion when you don't give it to your damn self. Abuse is a real thing, but sometimes abuse is allowed a whole lot more than what it could or should be. Some people try to run and free themselves from abuse, and people create little strategic ways to keep things around them that are abusive tactics and traits. We don't know the facts. We don't know all the facts. All we know is what they're using in court with that situation and what they are allowing us to see. We don't know the facts. We don't know the facts. No, I'm not a hard soul. No, 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 no. I'm not a hard soul. I'm not. I know I'm not. Being stalked, many people can't get away from being stalked. That's one thing. We can all choose who we live with, y'all. You know, I can't. I don't think the same. I don't think there's a comparison with being stalked by somebody versus being, overly dominated by a person. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to be compassionate towards any woman or man that has been through or even currently going through something. What I'm saying is you got to make a choice. How much of that shit you going to take? Some people don't make it out. Some people they go into an eternal living. Some people go into a premature death because they choose to stay with somebody who's not gonna change, and that person keeps showing them the worst of them. How much of that are you gonna take? Abuse is real. So people don't learn to choose them, and that's even going back to the very thing I said from the beginning when we were speaking on accusing, which is can be projecting. A person constantly accusing you of something you're not doing. That is a form of abuse. That's mental abuse, emotional abuse. Because they're trying to make you say you're doing something that you're not doing. Because they want the satisfaction of saying, I knew I was right. Who is it this time? Or is it that same woman? Is it that same man? That's abuse. Accusing somebody when your ass is wrong, that is mental abuse, mental and emotional abuse. And just in those little phases, we got to say enough is enough and know when enough is. Jason, let me get your behind straight. I'm not saying that it's just that simple. But we have to be honest and say nobody starts off abusing us in the beginning. I'm not saying that it's just that simple, but it can be. Sometimes we complicate our own lives. And you know what? You remind me of these men that make excuses to either do things to people that your ass know is wrong, or to allow things to be done to you that you know is wrong, but you want the sympathy of it. You can't always have that shit like that. You know when somebody wrong your ass, and you know when you are wronging somebody. Because if you can sit up in here and say all of that, then guess what? Your ass know right from wrong. You got common sense. You choose not to use it for yourself, and you try to use common sense for somebody else. And that's where your ass go wrong right there. Everything has a beginning place. Everything has a beginning place. Some people go far. They get to learn a lot of life lessons and hard lessons. Some people don't want the hardship or the trauma. Trauma is going to either make you become a better person to yourself, or become the same person that someone was to you that traumatized you. And it's a process in that. But I truly believe trauma makes us recognize not only who a person is, but who we are to ourselves. Jason, brother, I don't want you to say that I'm right. I just want you to recognize that in case you are out here harming somebody mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, physically. I want you to recognize that if you're doing that to somebody, or if it's being done to you, and get out. Or if a person walks away from you because you've traumatized them, you've hurt them, and they walk away, don't send 5 strangers to connect with them to try to emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, deprogram them so you can make a second back around. Recognize a person walking away from you because they know better. They know they deserve better for themselves. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And some people cannot accept the fact that people walk away from them because they recognize something is effed up with them in early stages. See, some people it don't take a whole lot for them. They be like, nah, let me pull out this now because something ain't right. I don't know what's wrong with old boy. He just seemed a little off. His communication changed. The way he talks to me. It doesn't seem like he's talking to me. Seems like he's talking at me. Seems like he's taking shots at me. Seems like he's talking down at me. Sometimes it's just a simple communication. Then sex. We don't even sex the same. The sex is not the same. Then interaction. We don't interact the same. So some people bow out because they don't want that experience of trauma. It's the offness that says, you know what, if I keep fooling with this, there's gonna be some damn trauma here. I'ma hurt myself. Damn them. So people don't want folks to walk away from them because, especially when they haven't gotten their true hands on them. People want people to stay around for the long haul of trauma because it's what they are accustomed to, either because they've been traumatized by people for a long ass time, or they've been getting away with traumatizing people for a long ass time. And people don't like that. And I noticed that. And I'm going to tell you something in dating. And I'm talking about dating men that, supposedly heterosexual. When men don't have consistency with communication and women start talking, I can show y'all a screenshot right now. And I hate to put this person's business out like this. But I'm going to tell you, I just told somebody the other day. I'm not going to show you the text message because his phone number is not covered up. I didn't program his phone number. Hold on. But he asked me, he said, hold on. He said, hey, how are you? I said, fine. I waited for a day. I said, finding yourself. He said, why did it take you so long to respond back to me? My message to him was this. I said, because all you do is text me and you don't have consistency. I said, you can never meet up. You can never talk. Hold on, y'all. I got a phone call. She hung up. I said, you can never communicate correctly as a grown man. This is somebody who's 42. I said, your communication level is off to me. So I'm not going to put but so much into you. And he said, damn, you act like, I don't reach out to you. You act like you don't never hear from me. I said, it's not that I don't hear from you. I said, but I hear from you when you think I want to hear from you. I said, you don't have consistency. I said, you don't have sense enough to pick the phone up and call a grown woman. You will text. And then and then your style of texting. You're not checking him in a bad way, but I pointed that out to him. WYD, what you doing? You sleep? I said, your sentencing is off for a grown man that's 42. It's not attractive to me. I said, it don't make me want to come around you a whole lot. You know what he told me at the bottom of his message? You act like a man. I said, no, I'm not acting like a man, but I am a woman. I said, we don't have to interact anymore because I don't reach out to you anymore. I can show you the messages from his to mine. You see all of his and a little bit of mine in between. People don't like that when you cut shit off. Now, if I would have kept on with him, ain't no telling what that would have been. I would have been, not being funny. I could be somebody out here confused. Do he like me? Do he like me not? I noticed his communication style. It's effed up. And he's 42. All you can do is text. You can't even text in complete sentences. You can't pick the phone call up. Men don't like when we notice stuff like that and then respond the opposite of it. And then when we tell them, yeah, I'm good. I mean, this ain't going nowhere. I'm not interested. But if you tell them you childish, you immature, I just told him, I said, your sentencing structure. You reach out to me when you think you can or when you think I want to hear from you. That's not life. Then they try to make women look like we're overly aggressive. They want to call us alpha females. Then they want to call us bitter. They want to call us headstrong. No, sometimes we just recognize y'all game up front. It's so shitty. You don't have a strategy to life. You're piss poor communicators. Who giving us some ass on that? I mean, who for real? You might can play with somebody else. And then one time he said, well, baby girl, I work a lot. Okay, you work a lot, but you've asked me several times. He has asked me, do you want to get together? And I said, sure. The get together is always him inviting me to his house or him asking where I live. And I already told him, I'm not coming to your house and you ain't bringing your ass to mine. Y'all let people can't read in between them lines. You want some ass and you're not even man enough to say, I want to have sex. That's corny. That's whack. That's lame. And that's what he is to me. Why I'm going to get some ass to that? So it's not about being a hard soul. You know what I'm saying? But, Jason, if you're still in here respectfully saying, y'all men have put it in a place to where we as women, we got to be wise as a serpent. And if we're too gentle as a dove, y'all will abuse the hell out of us. You will straight up abuse us. Then you get mad if we have a little bit of standards. You know what I'm saying? I can't rock like that. Let me text my sister back. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Women want the same thing men want. You feel me? And I think it's fair to say, some women have gotten into the game of cheating because men cheat so bad. We're not gonna be faithful to y'all, and y'all out here running around with every Jane Doe. And then some of y'all men, y'all so ran over. Y'all damaged as hell. And y'all let basic women damage you. That don't make sense. A basic woman damaged the hell out of you, traumatized the hell out of you. Then you want a grown woman to put your ass back together. But you don't want us to say nothing about your ass being damaged. Hold on. Put it at the very end of the counter where you're sitting. Okay. And Jason, if you're in here again, I'm only referring, saying something to Jason because he's a man. He has a man. It's one more man in here I know. But let me say something, Jason. I don't know your age frame, but let me say something as a 45-year-old woman that's sexually deprived. We want sex too. And I'm not saying it does or does not take a whole lot for y'all to get the sex, but it's gonna take something. A grown woman is not just gonna come lay her behind down with you and open her ass up to you, and you can't even communicate appropriately, correctly. There's no order. Sometimes we need to go back to the basics. Know how to approach a woman. Hey, how you doing? That whole shit. What up, shawty? What up, mom? You got to feel her out first. So all I'm saying is, we want the same thing y'all want. We're horny, we desire things, and we want companionship and marriage. But that doesn't mean that we're going to settle for any and every little thing. It's too many sex toys out here. And communication is the number one way to get something or not to get it. There's a protocol. But in today's society, I believe that there are more damaged men than what there are women. That's just my opinion on it. It's just my opinion. It's not the facts. But I think there are more damaged men than what there are women. When a man calls me shorty, I'm telling you right now, that's not a man I'm going to sleep with. That's not a man I'm going to want. I'm not going to desire. That's not going to work for me. First of all, that shorty term is a term that you're nothing to him. And, I know Plies got that song, even though I'm not your man, I'm not your girl, I'm going to call you my shorty. That means, in that song, you can be anything to him. Women, we need too much definition, and that's what men don't like. Grown women don't come with a certain age. It's maturity. A woman that has maturity, you got to define her, who the hell she is to you, not just by your words but by your actions. And when your actions don't show it, to a grown woman, I don't give a damn what you say to her. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. We grown women need definition. Grown women require that. And grown women require two things: consistency and communication. When you don't have it, it ain't going nowhere. Okay, Jason, you 40. Okay, so yeah, you okay, I'm sure you've experienced some things. Petro, what's curiosity, boo? Curiosity on the table of what? And y'all, these chats, let me clear this out so nobody thinks that. These chats are not about me being right. And it's not about me being right and y'all being wrong. You may hear my voice. That's why I'm saying interact with me and other people in the chat room. Nobody is right and nobody is wrong. What works for my life works for my life. It may or may not work for yours. I understand the chase to a certain degree, but when a man is truly interested in a woman, my dad and my uncles taught us about pursuit, not chasing, not hunting, but pursuing. Because when a man chases you, think about when somebody is being chased. Likely they're being hunted. Likely they're being sought after. Or even if they're in a race, somebody is trying to win the race. So most of the time when a person is chasing you, he's chasing you for a nut. And even in that, he could just say that. And then a woman knows she want to sleep with you. A woman knows when she meets you, if she would ever open her legs up to you, it's when you open your mouth that disqualifies you. And the other things attached to your surrounding life. But a man that pursues you, guess what? That pursuit will show who he is. Him chasing you, he is something he wants from you. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. I've always wondered why Christians use that word when they say a man will hunt you. Hunters kill. My daddy started taking me hunting at the age of 5. I've been shooting a little handgun since I was 5 years old. Hunters, we kill. We wear jumpsuits, camouflage suits to fit in, to make the deers, the squirrels, the rabbits, the possums think that we are a part of the wildlife, to psych them out. Hunting is about psyching a person out, making them think that you are something that your ass is not. Pursuing, I want you to see who I am. I want you to see my good side, but I want you to know I got a bad side of me too. I got flaws. I got shortcomings. That's a pursuit. A pursuit is from a man to a woman, or woman to man, or whatever your preference is. But a pursuit is mutual. Hunting and chasing, somebody here, they have an objective. You know, they have intentions that suits them, that pleases them, that pacifies them. And to be honest, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a little truth about me. Early on in Christianity, I used to say to myself in my head, I wouldn't say anything out loud, especially when we was in Bible study as kids. I was like, this mess don't sound right. Y'all trying to teach us how a man would kill us. Because whenever they will always say hunt, I'm thinking about how me, my daddy, and my brothers, and my cousins, how we came together and hunt. My uncle owns a lot of land. Almost like a little small community. A lot of land. And he used to have a lot of deers on his land. So we used to always go out and set traps. You know, we used to go to his land to hunt. So I've never resonated with that. From a small child, I have never resonated with that. Have I experienced it? Of course. Yeah, I don't like that story either. Yeah. So I don't understand why people, and especially people from the Bible, be using that. And I be saying to myself, you ain't finna hunt me. But a pursuit is a person revealing or allowing you to see. And a pursuit does not show every great or good thing about them. Their pursuit is, look, I got shortcomings now. You really want this? Okay, sometimes I may switch up. You know, I got different personalities too. I got some order to them, but I just know it's a different side of me. It's a couple different sides of me. You want this? You ready for a person like me? You know what I'm saying? That's what a pursuit is. It has become very tricky out here, ladies and gentlemen. It has become very tricky. But we want it as women. We want that. I'm just reading y'all comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I want to say. Let's close it out with recapping from the beginning. Let's all be, aware, very cognizant of how we accuse people. Just ask straight out. Are you seeing somebody else? Is there somebody else? Are you sleeping with anybody else? Are you having sex with anybody else? Are you, communicating with anybody else? Be direct. Be straight to the damn point, man or woman. Just be straight to the point. Am I the only person you're seeing? You know, do you want to see anybody else? Because it needs to be fair. If a person tells you, well, you know, we're not exclusive, but you are the only person I'm seeing now. Okay, so we're allowed to date other people. So a person would know not to get themselves emotionally entangled with you, or know to have a certain guard. People like it when people don't have guards. And then when that person doesn't have a guard and drama comes, then they want to run and hide. Then they want to sit here and lie. Then they want to have a whole bunch of regrets. No, be upfront. So there's not any accusing, because accusing, an accusatory spirit will project. It's projection. It can be seen as projecting. And then guess what? That's a spirit. That's energy. It's fluid. It surrounds that person. It entices that person. It tests that person. And more than likely, for most cases, it's going to overtake that person. Because you've made it common to project onto them, to accuse them, even when you're wrong. Instead of saying, babe, I was wrong. I really thought you were seeing somebody else. And, you know, I want to just be honest with you. Can we have a chat about that? And ladies, I'm going to say something. This is something I had to work on for about 15 years, y'all. I ain't even going to lie, about 15 years. Let me see, I'm 45. Yeah, about 15 years I had to work on this, my tone, because I can be loud tone. I have a natural, you know, little bass raspiness to my voice. Y'all be hearing that. So I've had to work on that. So when I speak to a man, one thing I'm very conscious of, I don't raise my voice at a man, because that's something my dad told me from a little girl. A woman is to show a man respect. Unless he shows you disrespect, then you get his ass. But my daddy always told me, keep the door open of respect from your mouth to his ears. So that's just something that I oblige. I'm just going to be straight across the board. That don't come from nobody else but my daddy and my uncles, period. I believe in respecting men, especially my black men. And that's a personal choice, personal preference, and it ain't going nowhere. Now, so ladies, you know, maybe we can take note of how we talk to them. Y'all know how we can have an attitude, suck our teeth, you know, throw our head, our demeanor show something, a different type of way, or something to that nature. So all I'm saying is, make sure your doorstep is a little swept up around, because that's something I have had to work on for 15 years. Even my brother Jimmy the other day, you know, just to be a little transparent with y'all, he was like, Candy, I don't like how you talking to me, because you talking to me like you talking at me like I'm a joker in the street, you know, like I'm nobody to you, because he made me mad about something. So, you know, I gave him a piece of candy. That piece of candy is sour. You know, she can be foul mouthed. She can be, I don't give a F. She can be cutthroat. She can be straight nasty. She can be rude. It's not blunt. She's rude. But that's something that I've worked on over the years of my life, because I know I have that naturally. And I need to know how to use it, and when to use it, and when not to use it. It don't matter about what race you are. I'm just saying about me as a black woman and how I was raised by my daddy as a black man. You know, respectfully saying, your race is your race. I ain't got nothing to do with me, homeboy. You know, get that shit right with you and your people. Because that's how I was taught to be for me and mine. So, ladies, I'm making note of that. And my daddy always told me, if you got to be wondering something in your head about a person, then guess what? It's better out than in. Because on the inside, that thing will mess you up. You sitting there wondering, thinking, and just ask them. Just ask them. Are you sleeping with somebody else? Are you seeing somebody else? Just ask. You gonna know if he lying. So that's why, you know, that's for me. That is a big part of why I'm like that. So that accusatory spirit, be careful with it. And ladies, just, you know, a little touch of what the women in my family circle has taught us as growing up. Do not accuse a woman of sleeping with your man if she tell you she's not sleeping with him. If she's not sleeping with him, don't keep running behind that woman. It might be somebody else, and you just making the assumptions that it's her. Because you are provoking that woman to sleep with you. Now that's street, you know, that's street talk. That's hood way of thinking. But it's also logical and practical in some cases. I'm not going to say most and I'm not going to say all, but in most cases, because some women already have a I don't give a damn attitude about you. You know what I'm saying? She'll lie to you and know she's screwing your man. Then some women, you know, you piss her off, you keep accusing her of making people think that she's sleeping with your man, she gonna get her ass right on to him. You blaming her, no, blame yourself. Blame yourself. Be woman enough to ask her. Let her know who you are. Then that way she has an understanding of why you're asking. And then you have to accept what she tells you. If it's a lie, I promise you, the Spirit of the Lord He will reveal it to you. He will let you know. So you just need to be straightforward. But don't stop that accusing people of doing stuff that they're not doing because you want it to be them or you want to be right. And ladies, this is just my, my little 2 cents on this right here. Be willing to say, okay, I was wrong. I know I asked you that before, but I wanted to ask you again. I had my suspicions and I just assumed it was you. Thank you for your honesty. You don't know if that whole line to you. You will feel it. You will sense it. But also, you're going to have other spiritual confirmation, and then it's going to come out. It's going to come out. But do not accuse. Be careful with that accusing when you're wrong. Because that accusing when you're wrong will always backfire on you one way or another. And if y'all will hit that like button real quick before we go. Hold on, I always get accused. Also, another way to look at it, if somebody is always accusing you of doing something and you know you're not, then guess what? That's a strong sign. It's their ass that's doing it. And it's their guilty conscience that's, having them ask you. And again, going right back to that projection. They're projecting onto you. They're projecting onto you. Okay, Petrol. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this chat has been helpful. Just remember, just because I'm the one, quote unquote, that has the mic in my hand, like I'm doing the video, it doesn't mean that I'm right about everything, because what I stand for, you may not. And it doesn't mean what I stand for is best. I got my flaws with me. I got my shortcomings with me. I got, I have downfalls in my life. I got my slickness with me. We all do. You feel me? We all do. I'm not ashamed of it. If I do something, I'm grown enough to say, I did it. It is what it is. I ain't about to sit here and be lying and have somebody, irritating me. If I did something, I'm going to tell you I did it. If I did your man and I didn't know that was your man, I'm going to, yeah, we mess around. Yeah, we deal. If I don't deal with him, we don't deal. If he owed me a financial obligation, I'm going to get my financial obligation for him because that's something that he and I agreed upon, something that he and I worked out. I don't give a damn who you are to him. Mama, sister, cousin, daddy, girlfriend, wife, baby mama, business partner. I don't have nothing to do with that. This is what he said he was going to do for me, and I'm probably not going to tell you about the financial part. It's not your business, because if you tell me that this is your man, it's your obligation to know what he does, especially with his finances. Period. I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't have nothing to do with no kids. I don't have nothing to do with no, nothing. All I care about is what's owed to me. Period. Point. Mother effing blank. Period. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who agrees with it. I don't care who disagrees with me. You can call me the whore of Babylon. You can call me a home wrecker. You can call me a troublemaker. You can call me a busybody. I don't give a damn about that. But if a man owes me something financially and he and I have that understanding, I don't give a damn who you are. I'm going to get as much as what's owed to me as possible. And that's my right hand to God on that one. So you can go ahead and stamp whatever. It don't mean I'm going to sleep with him, though. And especially if you tell me that's your man, especially if you tell me that's your husband, especially if you tell me that's your baby daddy, I know y'all had no child or children, or especially if you tell me he's sleeping around, I'm going to always ask myself out of them situations. But any kind of money he owe me, I'm going to tell you right now, you can go ahead and get mad. You can call his mama, grandma. You can dig up the dead people and tell their ass, I don't give a rat's ass, but I'm going to get my money. I promise you that. Now, that's the way I was taught to be. I'm not going to tell nobody to adapt to that. That's me. Straight up and down, all day, every day. That ain't just not change. It's going to be that way. Like it or not, that's what it is with me. So there's a part of my personality that y'all may not know. There's a part of my side of me that y'all may not know and agree with, but I'm going to do it. You feel me? I'm going to do it. Period, point blank. I don't give a damn who like it. You can tell the pastor. You can tell the president. You can tell the bishop. You can tell the apostle. You can tell all that, because I'm going to tell all y'all to kiss my black ass, and I'm expecting my deposit from him. You can tell the FBI. You can tell the CIA. You can tell any federal government. You can tell any state government. I don't give a damn about that either. What I know is owed to me, I want that. Period, point blank. It can be $20. It can be $200. It can be $200,000. It can be $2 million, and I'm going to keep my mouth shut about what I'm getting. Yeah. You can tell whoever you want to tell, honey. I don't care. Doggone right. Bush better have my money. And ladies, now this is just a little piece of, quote unquote advice, or, I don't want to say it's advice, but if a man owe you something financially, get it. I don't mean no harm. If he compromised your life, you need to get that financial agreement from him. Don't be worried about what he got with other women, because he going to have that. If he's a man that's sleeping around, take yourself out of that equation of him having sex with you. Keep it strictly business. Yep, get your money and take care of yourself. If you got kids, take care of you and your kids. So if his mama call you, don't disrespect them. Ma'am, listen, I don't mean no harm and no disrespect, but this what your son owes me. Now, whatever he telling you to over there to make you happy about believing his lies, I really don't care at this point. I don't give a damn. But this as for me and my house, we serving the Lord, and his ass better serve us our money, because we will sue him, we will put his ass on blast, and we will help federal agents lock that ass right on up. So if I don't get my money, ain't nobody gonna be happy. If y'all looking good, I better be at least looking damn decent. And it's gonna be some consequences and some heavy ass repercussions. Respectfully saying, mama, wives, baby mamas, girlfriends, y'all ass better stay in y'all man ass. I don't know what he got with you. I didn't know nothing about your ass. Or even if I knew, this man owed me, and that's period, point blank. We got some unfinished business. I suggest you take it up with him. Whatever lie or truth he gonna tell you, you can be happy with it, then make yourself content. But I'm gonna tell you right now, no, we not having no sex, but hell yeah, that motherfucker owe me some money and I'm getting it. So I'm not one of them women to say that. I'm not. If I had a man and he still owe money to a woman, they got some sort of fine. First of all, I want to know about it. How this shit started, what's going on, so I can make sure he's not being screwed over. Because y'all know we women, we can be slick with that. You feel me? We can be slick. Because now I'm not going to stand by no man that got some piss poor obligation to a woman because he done laid up with her. That hoe better go find somebody else. She better move that cat somewhere else. Put that pussy on somebody else, because it ain't going to be him. Ain't going to be me and him screwing her. Me and her screwing him. No, ma'am. Look here. Why you still owe this hell for this? Y'all got business. Let me see what's the business. Illegal business, legal business. Let me know what the hell is going on. Because I'm not standing by no man that's just sitting here getting ran over by some BS women. Hell no. We're going to break these hoes down real quick. I'm going to show your ass how to get out of this. We're going to make me as a silent partner. See, men not ready for grown women like that because they don't want nobody to tell them. They feel like you telling them what to do. It's not telling you what to do, but if you want to do me, if you want to screw me, if you want to lay up with me, if you want to come over to see me, because I ain't have to come to your house. I got my own. I got my own little apartment. If you want to come to me, your ass got to get this shit here together. May I assist you? I can't assist you. Okay, cool. I'm stepping out the picture. See, people don't understand true partnership. Because I just told y'all the other day, people have too many entanglements and too many ties to their exes. And a lot of it is financially. You got children from them, you got kids from them. How much is child support? Okay, look here. Them kids do better over here. We got their ass all the time any damn way. We're going to go ahead and start you a damn custody case. I'm going to help you pay for that shit. We're going to bring the little motherfuckers in the house with us because we're not sending all this money out. And then her ass over here looking good, shopping good, driving good, eating out. And I got to sit here and work some extra hours or do some extra videos for us to have. Hell no. Bring that child on over here with us or with you. See, women don't be ready for stuff like that. Now, you want that man, but you want to take the responsibility of, what he has to do or deal with. Sometimes it ain't child support you do with the custody. Okay, we're going to do 50-50 down the middle. You get his ass or her ass for 6 months. She get his ass or her ass for 6 months. There is no child support. Extracurricular activities, guess what? That's extra. If she can't afford it and you can, that child will be in extracurricular activities when he or she's with you. But women and men not ready for that. Women, I'm gonna tell you something else. You got to be ready for a man that's solid coming in your life and you got a child from somebody else. Because he gonna look like, why this man ain't getting this child? Why he ain't doing more? A grown man gonna check that shit too. Okay, do you get child support? Is child support needed? Child support is not needed for people that know how to co-parent. But people don't like co-parenting. And men and women both like to run over their baby mamas and baby daddies and the person they're with. Hell no. You can't lay between my legs and she dictating your life. That ain't gonna never work for me and no man. So I'm just telling you, you got to be the same way a man has to be willing for a woman to help, maybe organize his life a little bit more, put some structure in it, tailor that shit down the middle. The same way a woman wants a man to allow her to do it. Ladies, you have to allow, if you're going to have a man in your life when your child is young or even older. That's why, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why I did not date when Nosha was younger. Because nobody gonna tell me nothing to do with my daughter, period. I dated while she was up into elementary. I gave it until she was in the 5th grade. From the 5th grade to her senior year, I was not concerned about dating. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me shit to do with my child. I knew what my daddy was doing for me, how he was doing it, and other things. No. And I was not going to put nobody in her business like that. So that's just that. So you got to bite the bullet somewhere. So I'm just saying that works both ways. Let's not always put it on the man that has a baby mama or the mother of his child, the mother of his children. If you have a child or if you have children, you cannot allow grown children to dictate your life. And you got a man in your life. I'm talking about a man. You got a man in your life. You got to learn how to merge that shit together, blend that shit together. He might say, all right, babe, your daughter asking for a whole lot. Why you always doing this? Why you always doing that? She need to grow up. She needs to stand on her own 2 feet. He need to grow up. He need to stand on his own 2 feet. Especially these grown children. People don't like grown children overstepping their boundaries. And that's something we have to deal with. If you a grandparent like me, a middle-aged grandparent, why you always got this grandbaby? You got time for that man? What if he said you got the child too much? How you going to feel about that? So I'm just saying, y'all, we have to all measure. It's not always about judging, but it is about measuring. Measure your life. And if you don't want other people in it, keep them out of it. Be honest with them. Look, I'm not getting in a relationship right now. I don't want to, or I have a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a friend. People typically know what that friend is, or friends with benefits. I'll see you when I see you. When I see you, we likely gonna be in the bed, on the couch, doing some stuff, maybe on the counter, maybe on the corner, something like that. But we ain't in a relationship. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. So it's all about honesty. It's all about being upfront. It's all about being direct. And that's what I believe the world has lost. The world we live in is not direct. People have an indirect, slick, slide way of doing stuff. And it causes so much controversy. When it causes controversy, what they do, slide away, hide, duck, dodge, and it's like that. Then they start at accusing. They start projecting. And when after they start projecting, they start trying to manipulate, start trying to gaslight, start trying to love bomb. That's where all those behavior patterns come in. All those dysfunctional behavior patterns. Then those dysfunctional behavior patterns throw them off, and they're hoping to throw you off. But when the mess comes out, then guess what? It's mess for everybody. They don't want you to help cleaning up the process or the mess that they've caused for your life and theirs. They just want to tell you what to do. That's not life. Grown people don't operate like that. Grown people do not operate like that. Or at least I don't think they shouldn't, in my opinion and for my personal belief. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it there. We're going to cap it there. I think this has been a good little chat for today. I definitely have enjoyed you all this morning. If you will, like the video. Do your due diligence to clean up around your own doorstep. I don't care what type of man or woman you have in your life. Please know the truth of them and not just the good. We all come with something bad. We all come with, a little bit of somewhat of baggage or responsibility, obligations, liabilities. It's life. It is life. And we're not going to ever get around that. If you get somebody with no children, they still have obligations, liabilities, responsibilities, and some form of, what we consider to be, baggage. Now, in tarot, we word play a good little bit. But on these chats, we got to keep it a band. If y'all leave and like that video on the way, hit the like button on your way going out too. But just be real. Be realistic about your life, their life, and the reality of what y'all are doing or hoping to do. It can make stuff so much simpler. If you don't want somebody to sleep with your man and your woman, don't accuse them. I'm still going to stick on that. Do not accuse them. Do not accuse somebody of sleeping with your man or your woman, and they're not. If they tell you they're not, and you have no proof that they are, please don't accuse them, because you're going to open up a door that you're not going to be able to close. Peace and blessing. Great day. Happy Thursday. I hope that this has been helpful. I enjoyed you all. Namaste.